Under my plan of a cap-and-trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket.
That's right, skyrocket. It'll destroy jobs and cost middle-class families $1,800 a year every time you turn on a switch. And Tom Perriello's voting with Obama and with Nancy Pelosi over and over. Call Perriello. Tell him he was wrong to vote for the Pelosi energy tax. The National Republican Congressional Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, that was the GOP ad attacking Virginia's Democratic Representative Tom Perriello for his vote on the cap-and-trade bill. A local TV station in Virginia is refusing to run that ad. And here to talk about the controversy is Congressman Tom Perriello. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Congressman, do you own the station? Or you have friends there? I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it helps.
This is the thing. When you're using verifiably false information, that's not the way to have the debate. I'm happy to have this debate. I think this is one of the most exciting things we've done in a generation to deliver a blow to petro-dictators around the world and start investing those dollars back in American jobs back home. I have no doubt they can score some short-term political points on this, but I think over the long term it's a real danger for them because everyone knows how important it is to finally get off of foreign oil and to start getting those jobs.
You say the ads are false, verifiably false. What are Republicans saying about the cap-and-trade bill that's a lie?
Well, in this particular ad, they actually compare projections about GDP loss and extrapolate that to a utility bill, which is just an apples and oranges comparison. What we know is that there's a lot of private capital up there waiting to be unleashed when they know what this new system's going to be. This system is a bold idea, but it's also a very free market idea. It's letting a tradable permit scheme decide the most efficient way to allocate this.
Let me ask you what we asked the White House. Will any residents in your district or across America have higher energy bills because of this cap-and-trade bill you supported?
Most may have lower bills, but some may have higher bills, but we're giving them the power to decide. This is going to put that incentive back on the consumer. And here's what choice I don't have right now.
Let me ask you that really quickly. Again, we need clarification because we didn't get it from the White House. Who is going to be paying more?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on your consumption patterns. What we have now is a chance when I go to the gas pump, I don't have a choice. No matter what, my money is going directly to petro-dictators around the world. I don't like that choice. What's going to happen instead is those same dollars are going to be invested back here. And I will tell you, Joe, freedom isn't free. Since 9/11, we've asked everything of our military families, and we've asked pretty much nothing of the rest of us.
So let me ask you again, getting back, it depends on your consumption patterns. Break it down for me. Is there a certain amount of energy? If I use a certain amount of energy and I go over a certain threshold, then I pay more?
Well, the consumer rebates will be based on your income, so most working class and middle class folks will be getting more back on the consumer rebate than they would potentially be paying. This is also something where, as you know, the CBO figures, the independent figures that said no more than $12 a month impact on family or a postage stamp a day doesn't include anything for energy savings. So that's really a ceiling or a maximum on what we'd be asking of people.
What district are you? Forgive me for not knowing this, but we've got a 3-hour show and we come in drunk before it starts. So, what district do you represent in Virginia?
It's southern and central Virginia.
Conservative area.
Sure.
Good. Glad we have you on here. Are you concerned with some of the poll numbers in Ohio and some other swing states that suggest Americans are starting to get a little bit concerned about deficits, and actually a lot concerned about deficits and how big the government's expanding?
Well, no, I think it's good news. I have a lot of concern about the deficits as well. I actually voted against the president's budget and support PAYGO legislation. I don't know where that concern was 8 years ago when we were getting off the rails with this, but it's a very real concern. What we're looking at, though, is we need to find game changers on the jobs front. We can't just continue to bleed slowly, hemorrhage jobs overseas. We need the kind of game changers that create new competitive advantage. Right. And I think what you're seeing from this new generation of politicians is being being willing to be bold and commonsensical at the same time. So with climate, we are talking about a bold transformation, but we're using basic free market principles to get there.
And Congressman, let me just say, I'm with you. I don't know where the concern has been over the past 8 years. It's troubling.
Let me ask him, do you think that we're as off the rail now as we were 8 years ago in terms of spending?
Well, the problem with 8 years ago was there had finally been the political will to balance the budget. If we had done nothing from 2000 to 2008 but keep the existing budget agreement between President Clinton and the Republican Congress, we would have paid off the publicly held debt.
But are we as off the rails now?
Well, we're in an economic crisis right now, and yes, the deficits are huge. The question is, how do you get out of them? And I think we need problem solving, not, the normal political games to get there.
You voted against the president's budget. Do you agree that the deficits are unsustainable?
Sure, they are unsustainable. The question with health care is going to be, is this the key to closing the federal deficit, or is this going to blow it wide open?
What do you think?
Well, it depends how we do it. I think if we can do it in a way that creates cost saving, it could be one of the most important things we do to reduce the federal deficit.
Would you vote for a health care plan that didn't have a public option?
Well, the term public option to me, maybe not, but the issue is what's in it. Does it create the kind of competition? Does it close the primary care doc shortage that we have? Does it get the kind of move us from sickness care to health care and support the kind of preventative medicine where you and I know the real savings are?
All right. Hey, Congressman, thank you for being with us.
Nice to have you on.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And he's exactly right about our system. I don't care where you are ideologically. We have sickness care.
Yes.
He is good.
He was good.
He was good.
He's
an impressive guy. Impressive young guy.
Yeah.
He is an impressive guy.
Him and he was ready.
He's good.
All right, Congressman, thanks a lot.